All right, gentlemen, are y'all gonna win?
If you have stepped foot on the AUM campus in the last 30 plus years, chances are Frank Williams has snapped your photo.
1, 2, 3.
I originally started here in November of 1988, and I was gone between August of '99 and July of '03. The retirement system of Alabama has given me credit for 34 years and 10 months.
Frank walked onto AUM's campus back in 1988 after working for 4 different newspapers across the Southeast. Little did he know, AUM was about to become home.
When I started working at AUM, I thought I'd be here 3, maybe 4 years and then move on.
I stood right over there my first month I was here and got a picture of the whole quad. The sidewalks then, most of them were asphalt, and the trees were no bigger than this big around.
But working here, I had regular work hours, and I worked with some great people. And I was drinking from a fire hose trying to learn about administration and which schools were which and how a university worked.
Frank Williams up there, photographer.
Frank learned how AUM worked, and his photographs told the story of the university's growth through the years. As the university changed and transformed, Frank was there to capture it.
It is interesting because I have met and photographed every chancellor that's worked here. I met and photographed AUM's very first employee, Betty Darity. She was working here when I started here. Wonderful lady. And I've got pictures of her and Hanley Funderburk, our first chancellor, standing and laughing together at an event. So in that regard, I have photographed, oh my goodness, many of the first people to be in their positions that have ever worked here, including most of the athletic coaches. You know, I've navigated all of the activities, administrative changes, faculty changes, staff changes, athletic changes, and I've got most of those on film or digital. Our student population when I started work here was 5,200 students. Today we are at 5,200 students, but we've got a lot more activities that are going on.
And capturing the student experience has been one of his favorite parts of the job, always casting a smile and a friendly "how are ya" to Warhawks.
That's good. Close enough. Good, thank you.
I like talking with the students, getting to know them. It's kind of funny because I can photograph an event. I can see how the students react with each other. So getting to know the students so that they can interact photographically is always good. And ironically, years ago, students would say, "Hey Frank, how are you?" And nowadays they say, "Hey Mr. Frank, how are you?"
And if you're curious how many pictures Mr. Frank has taken over the course of his time at AUM,
somewhere close to 500,000.
500,000 memories captured and saved for future Warhawks to enjoy. And now it's time for Frank to make some new memories in retirement.
I'd like to spend more time with my children, Matthew and Sarah, as well as my granddaughter, Robin. I want to play more golf. I want to get my house somewhat back in order and got some painting to do. Got some yard work to do. I want to get back over to Valdosta and see my sister more often. I want to do some traveling. This has been an incredibly rewarding experience. I am one of the few people in history who can say that they spent their entire career in one field, which is photography. The Almighty has allowed me to have the job and the career that I wanted when I was in college. And that is not something I take for granted. There's not a whole lot of people who are able to experience that. So for me to be able to retire, having had influence in doing what I love at a university is just nothing more than a blessing.
From everyone at AUM, thank you, Frank.